Hey guys, so I'm here today to film the second part of my declutter series. Today I am tackling my eyeshadow drawer, which has single and loose shadows and smaller palettes, and then I also have a palette drawer that's full of palettes that I'm going to declutter. So if you want to see me declutter the second part of my makeup stash, keep watching. I will link my first declutter video somewhere up here and in the description bar, and then my third one will be the lipsticks. So please subscribe to my channel. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'm fantastic, so you should join the fam. So this is the catastrophe that is my eyeshadow drawer. These are just singles and some smaller palettes. I will go through my palette drawer as well today. I'm gonna start by just keeping my lashes because I just bought these recently from Shop Hush. I've only worn them a couple of them a few times, but I'm trying to make myself wear lashes more, so I'm gonna keep them. I'm also going to keep my Lit Cosmetics glitters. I don't use them a lot, but I don't have too many of them. So I don't use them very often, but I only have 4 of them, so I might as well just keep them. Where is my 4th one? Right here. So I'm just going to keep them, as well as my Lit Cosmetics glitter glue, because I love me a good glitter. And the same goes for my Stila Magnificent Metals. They are just amazing, and I love them to death. Can't get rid of them. This MAC Cosmetics 3D silver glitter is gonna go, like, I'm never gonna use it. Same with this Avon glitter I got. I don't know where, but she can go too. Oh, I just threw her. I have these 2 gel liners from ColourPop. Like, why do I have these? This is in the color Swerve, which is black, and this is in the color Besto, which is this gorgeous plum color. Like, I like it, but honestly, I never use them. They need to go. I have this Starlit powder from Makeup Forever. This is in the color 5. It looks kind of purple in the lid, but it's actually more of like a pinky purple. I don't totally love it, but I just bought it recently, and I will keep it for like any special looks I do. I have this Annabelle Transformer, which is supposed to be like kind of like using Fix Plus for your eyeshadow, so I really don't need it, and it honestly looks like it's dried up and empty, so she can go. I'm gonna start with just the few palettes I have here. The first palette I have is my Urban Decay Electric palette. This is honestly one of my favorite palettes in the entire world. I don't use it often, but I love having it in my collection because it's just all the brights I could ever need in one place, so she's staying. I just have an empty Anastasia 4-pan palette. I like to keep this in case I travel, so that can stay as well. And I have the original Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. I just like this palette a lot. I love this dupe for Max Club so much that I just can't get rid of it. And it's just such an inexpensive palette, and now that they don't have it anymore, I definitely want to keep it. The shadows are a great quality. And again, I like to have it for any special looks. So I'm going to start with this situation, which is all of my cream shadows. Now, the first shadow I have in here is the Benefit RSVP shadow that is dried up and disgusting, and she has to go. Oops. I have the MAC Paint Pot in Morning Frost. I actually really love this, and I'm totally gonna keep it. And then I have another MAC, I have another gel liner. This is MAC's gel liner in Dark Diversion. I'm gonna keep this one because I do want to keep a plum liner, and I feel like if I'm gonna keep a plum liner, this is a good one to keep. Just because it's MAC, I'll be able to like kind of revitalize it. I have this Coastal Scents glitter, which is actually a black loose glitter. I'm gonna keep it just because I like having a black glitter around, again, for looks, and like it was dirt cheap. I have so many cream eyeshadows in here. Where do I start? I have another Benefit shadow. This is in the color this is in the color Strut. I honestly bought this off a blog sale and used it like twice, so it can go. I have so many of the ColourPop or the Maybelline Color tattoos, and I just don't reach for them anymore. Like, this is Pomegranate Pump, which I used to love, but like I'm never gonna use anymore. This is the color Leather, which I don't know if I'm gonna keep or not. Like, it's kind of a nice neutrally brown color. Do I want it? I don't know. That's gonna go up here for a hot minute. I really want to keep Bad to the Bronze. Like, it's so gorgeous, but they're just so old and dried out. I just feel like if I'm gonna get, I think I'm just gonna get rid of all of my color tattoos, and then if I really want a color, I'll just repurchase it. This is electric blue, so beautiful, but again, they're just so old. I bought these all when the color tattoos originally launched, and like, they just need to go. This is vintage plum, like, again, beautiful, but like, am I ever gonna use it? No. This is tough as taupe. Again, gone. The only one I am going to keep, which I know is crazy, is this one, which is in the color Cool Crush, because I know this was limited edition, and it's honestly such a gorgeous shade that like look at that color. Oh, so beautiful. I have to keep it. That one I'm going to keep, but everything else can go. I have two of the L'Oreal Infallible shadows. This is in Bronzed Taupe, and this is in Burning Black. I'm going to keep them both because I do love these, and I don't really have any single shadows, but like, I don't use them often, but I like to have them because I'm crazy. Now I have my ColourPop shadows. I'm going to keep my two My Little Pony ones because, again, I just recently bought these, and they're gorgeous. I think I'm honestly going to keep all of my ColourPop Super Shock shadows. I love them so much. I have no shade in keeping them all. Yeah, we're doing it. We're keeping all the ColourPop shadows. Don't judge me. So then we have this container, which has just some smaller shadow palettes in it. The first thing I have in here is this Stila Trio. She can go. I'm literally never going to use her. I have this Hard Candy Duo. I used to be obsessed with this, but again, I'm never going to use it. It can go. I have a NARS Duo. I'm going to keep just because it's NARS, if I'm being honest. Same with these two NARS singles I have, like this Cobalt Blue. Again, something just like good to have in your collection. Same goes for this color in Persia, like, which is just such a beautiful burnt red. Ugh, living for my life. This MAC quad can just go. She can just go forever. Now my problem comes with these smaller palettes. This is the Kat Von D Beethoven palette, and I have to keep this because this is what started my makeup addiction. My husband actually bought this for me for Christmas before I ever owned any high-end makeup from Sephora, and this is what made me start looking on YouTube for tutorials, so I just have to keep it. It's like sentimental. This is the Tarina Tarantino palette in the color Fantastical. It's a really pretty palette, and it was discontinued, but like, I'm never going to use it, so someone else can have it. And then I also have this Topshop palette in Orion. Again, a beautiful palette, but I'm just never going to use it. I'm going to get rid of it. And then I just have two cream shadows in here. This is the Annabelle Twist Up Shadow in Taupe, and this is the Annabelle Smoothie shadow in Peach. I'm going to keep the Peach one just because I don't have a lot of peach eyeshadows, whereas the taupe one, I have other taupe ones, so that can go. And last but not least, we have this catastrophe that is eyeliners. First thing I have in here is my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. I'm going to keep it just because it has sentimental value. Again, this was like my OG eyeshadow primer. It creases on me now, but like maybe one day it'll work for me. This NYX eyeshadow base creases like a mother. It can go. I'm actually going to get rid of this Makeup Forever Aqua XL base. I'm going to put this in a maybe pile because I need to try it some more. I didn't love it, but I'm going to try it again and see if maybe I will love it. I'm going to keep the yellow one though, just because it's an interesting eyeshadow base color. For brows, I'm going to keep my Goof Proof and my Anastasia brow definer. I'm going to keep my NYX eyeshadow pencil in Milk just because it's such a good white base to have on hand. I'm going to keep this NYX Cobalt Blue liner. It's so gorgeous. But going to get rid of this Stila liquid one. I bet you it's so dried out now. Oh, actually, I'm going to put this in the maybe pile and try to use it and see how I feel about it because like it's a really pretty color, but I don't know if I will use it. This is the taupe eyeshadow I'm going to keep. This is the Sephora Jumbo Pencil that I love. I'm gonna get rid of this brow gel. It's like hard as a rock. This is like an OG favorite of mine though. If you love like a gel brow, definitely try the NYX eyebrow gel. It's so fantastic, but that one's garbage. Okay, let's see what else is in here. So much shit. This is a lip liner, so that's gonna go in another drawer. I'm going to get rid of this Annabelle Smudge Liner in Plum, and I'm going to keep the Duo from Urban Decay. I'm I'm gonna separate all my black line. I'm gonna put all my black liners in the bottom here so that I can go through them at the end because there's just so many that I need to see what I have. I'm gonna get rid of this Stila brown pencil liner that I'm never gonna use. I'll keep the NYX Micro Brow just to have. This Rimmel Exaggerate looks old as fuck. It can go. This MAC pencil in Slate can stay. This Stila Navy Blue can stay. This Seafoam Green from Annabelle can go. That's the black one. Regardless of what happens, I'm keeping my Urban Decay duos just because I love them. That's black. This is a lip liner, is it not? Yep. This white liner can stay because I actually don't have another white liner. Same with this nude liner. That's black. Gonna keep the Annabelle smudge liner in Armor though. I love this like taupey gray color. And I'm gonna keep these other two. This one is in Cappuccino and this one is in Bronzy. Just good to have like a brown smudgy liner in case. And now we have the blacks. I have two of these NARS Larger Than Life ones. So the one with the yellow label can go because it's probably old, but I'll keep this one. Keeping Marc Jacobs, I actually love the Marc Jacobs one. Gonna keep my Smolder Eye Kohl. Gonna get rid of this Sephora one. What is this? MAC. Actually, I'm gonna keep Feline too, and I'll get rid of this NYX one. Okay, so from that drawer, I decluttered 1 eyebrow product, 8 cream shadows, 7 eyeliners, 2 liquid liners or gel liners, 1 eyeshadow base, 2 glitters, like a transformer thing, and 4 eyeshadow palettes. I still have my palette drawer. She's a doozy, get ready. Okay, so this is my palette drawer. I'm leaning on the floor because it's close to the ground. A lot of these palettes do live on my vanity, but I put them all in this drawer just so I could go through all my palettes at one time and I wouldn't have to be going back and forth. And like also my vanity is really dirty right now, so you don't need to see that. So I have 2 face palettes in here that I'm going to keep. This is the Nicole Guerrero palette with Anastasia. It's my favorite highlighter palette ever, so it can stay. Anastasia Moonchild palette is also life. Dunzo. The Okalon Metal palette, this is the dupe for the Kat Von D palette. I just bought like 4 palettes from Shop Hush, so I'm definitely not going to get rid of them, and I actually love the quality of these. They're hard to get in Canada, but if you can get your hands on them or get a shipping address in the States, they're fantastic quality and like they're dirt cheap. This is the other palette I got from Shop Hush. It's the Aura palette. It's a dupe for the Anastasia Aurora palette, I believe. Is it Aurora? No, Prism palette. This is the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette. I love this palette. I do find it really hard to use because the layout is so ridiculous, but the shadows are great quality. I have considered depotting these and actually just reorganizing them in this palette, which I might do, but I'm just afraid to shatter the shadows. There's a cat hair in here. So yeah, but I'm definitely keeping it. It's beautiful. And like this green right here, life. This is just like my personal Z palette. I'm obviously keeping it. These are like my Coastal Scents, my Coastal Scents, my Makeup Geek, my MAC Cosmetics shadows. They're fantastic. I love them all. Obviously staying. This is like my everyday palette. This is the Revealed 2 palette from Coastal Scents, from Coastal Scents. I love these palettes. If you don't want to pay the money for the Naked palettes, these are great dupes. I have the Revealed 1 in here somewhere. I'm definitely keeping Revealed 2 because this is a dupe of the Naked 3 palette, which I don't have. So I don't have these kind of tones in my collection, and I like them a lot. The Morphe Cosmetics, what is this even called? This is the 25B. I think it's called the, is it Copper Spice or Bronze Mocha or something? It's one of those. This palette is just kind of okay, but I've recently bought it and I kind of like it. I kind of reach for it, so I am going to keep it. Morphe shadows or palettes are just so inexpensive and they're pretty decent quality, so I am going to hang on to that. Same with my Morphe 35K palette and my Jaclyn Hill palette. Like, they're just palettes that, my Jaclyn Hill palette I reach for all the time. My 35K I don't reach for that much, but I do love it, and I like having these cool tones, which are so hard to find in other other palettes sometimes, so I am going to hang on to that. The Jouer Skinny Dip palette is definitely staying. I got this in my lucky bag and I was super excited about it. Love those shadows. Same with my ColourPop State of Mind palette. This is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. I actually just put this in my ColourPop like 10 things you need from them video, and it is still available on the website, so like get it. If you can hear mischief in the background, it's because I have new kittens and this is their first time in this room and they're running amok. Hey! Amok! This is another palette from Okalon. This is the, it just says matte eyeshadow palette. This is basically a dupe for the Lime Crime Venus palette. Love it. Keeping it. This is the Strobe Cosmetics Creepy Cube palette, another palette I just bought, so I'm obviously keeping it. I adore these pastel shades. I actually might put this up with my electric palette just because I feel like those are two palettes that I like to have in my collection for crazy looks, but like I'm not going to reach for a lot, so love that. Modern Renaissance is a no-brainer. I live for this palette. I'm actually allergic to this palette. I can't use the red tone or pink tone shades for like a long day because I am allergic to carmine, but I still love this palette. As you can see, I've hit pan on Vermeer. I love warm taupe, just like beautiful. This is the last palette I picked up from Shop Hush. One of these shadows is shattered. I have to repress. I don't know how that happened, but this is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Lila palette, so definitely keeping that. My Morphe Kathleen Lights palette, I'm such a sucker for Morphe palettes and I never use them, but I am going to keep this just because I want to keep it. This might be a palette that I'll keep and I'll declutter later, but for now I just can't get rid of it yet. But like I probably should. My self-control is ridiculous. The last palette in the back and the last palette that I keep on my vanity is my ColourPop single shadows. If you watch any of my videos, you know that these are actually my favorite formula of single shadows, so I'm never getting rid of that, ever until I die. This is the ColourPop My Little Pony palette. Honestly, this was a little lackluster for me, but I can't declutter it because it's just such an iconic packaging, so like I'm a hoarder, sorry. This, like, am I gonna declutter a palette ever today? Who knows? I probably will. Those are all like palettes that I keep on my vanity, so they're more likely for me to love them. Now we're into the stuff that I keep in this drawer and stuff that's gonna go. This is an Eyes, Lips, Face palette, aka an e.l.f. palette that is so old and dusty and I've probably never used, so she can go. What else is in here? This is the Revealed 1 palette. I'm gonna declutter this because I have Naked 1 and Naked 2. Do I need this? No. Speaking of Naked 1 and Naked 2, here's Naked 1. Obviously keeping this. This was the first, probably, eyeshadow palette that I purchased myself from Sephora, and the first palette that I remember like being on a wait list for and like needing, and it was just such an iconic game changer in the makeup world, so I need to keep it. I know I've talked about how I regret purchasing the Naked 2 palette and I don't love the Naked 2 palette, but I'm keeping it. I have a problem. And I'm also going to keep the Naked Smoky palette, another palette I never reach for because I'm a crazy person. Clearly I'm keeping everything out of this drawer. It's just like such a beautiful palette. I can't. This is my NARS Narcissist palette. This is another palette that I don't reach for, but I'm going to keep because it's NARS. I have a soft spot in my heart for NARS Cosmetics, and I'm not really sure why, but I love them. This is the Lorac Pro palette. I actually got this like last year at IMATS, but I'm getting rid of it because it just does nothing for me. It's just nothing special. I don't love the shadow formula. I don't love any of the colors that much. She's got to go. Same with this Makeup Revolution or I Heart Makeup Chocolate Bar palette. It just does nothing for me. I've honestly used it like twice and never reached for it again, so she's going. I'm going to keep my Tartelette palette. I love this palette for just when I'm looking for simple matte browns or just simple matte crease colors, so she's staying. This is a palette I made for the Z palette, obviously. I need to go through and like singly declutter this. I'm obviously going to keep I think what I'm going to do is just keep all the big shadows. And I'm going to get rid of these. Me and my friend actually pressed these shadows from like glitters and like pigments she had from MAC. And like I'm just going to get rid of them because I'm never going to use them. Oh, when I was decluttering my blush drawer, I remember thinking, I have a MAC blush palette. Where the fuck is this? I'm actually going to put this back up on my vanity so that I remember to use it more often because this is one of my favorite MAC blushes. And I just kind of have been so obsessed with warm tone browns lately that I kind of forgot these existed. So they're coming back out into the world. And lastly, this is another Z palette I have. Again, I'm gonna go through this palette and actually declutter some of these shades because I just don't need this many single eyeshadows. Honestly, I'm already on the floor and I'm not getting up. So from those palettes, I've decluttered 4 eyeshadow palettes. I'm pathetic. But I also went through my Z palettes and I decluttered 20 single shadows from Coastal Scents, just like other shit that I decluttered in the past, and pressed pigments that I was never going to use. So I didn't declutter a lot of eyeshadow palettes, but I find it really hard to part with palettes just because they're like so beautiful and so much. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My next one coming up will be my lipstick declutter, so stay tuned for that, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.